Hey friends, welcome to Functional Medicine for Moms, where we take root cause approach to fertility, pregnancy, postpartum, and raising healthy families. I'm your host, Dr. Kelly Moline, a pharmacist and functional medicine consultant. Whether you're preparing for pregnancy, trying to conceive, navigating life with a newborn, or simply looking for practical ways to support your health naturally, you're in the right place. Each week, we'll dive into functional medicine, natural solutions, and honest conversations from our own family's journey, plus interviews with experts along the way. Let's get into it. Welcome back to our podcast, Functional Medicine for Moms. And we are recording video again.
Yes, I don't even know where to look. Should I look at you or look at the camera? I'm not really sure. I don't remember. I don't even know. I don't think I really looked at the camera at all last time. So
it was mostly us looking at each other. Otherwise, it feels a little awkward looking at the
just
camera all the
getting
time.
lost in each other's eyes.
Yeah.
Everyone can just share in this really intimate moment now.
But it's welcome to our home, I should say. It's fun recording some video again. I have a little bit different setup on the tech side, so hopefully it'll make it easier for me to edit and do all the things. So it's not taking up my entire week doing the editing, which I love for you to have the video on YouTube, and people are, when I switched, people are like, I don't see the video anymore. I'm like, yeah, I'm so sorry. So now I'm trying to incorporate that back.
Yeah, I think before we kind of stopped because we were getting frustrated with the tech. Mm-hmm. So this setup is a little easier. And then, there's less editing.
Yeah. So a lot has happened. Last time we recorded was June, and we were announcing our pregnancy, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. Now it is mid-August. I'm 17 weeks pregnant, so you can see my bump some in the video.
Getting bigger.
Yep, we're almost halfway there, which is kind of crazy. It's going by so much faster this time. So this episode is really just life lately. Here are updates. Here's me and Landon back more in real time.
Mm-hmm.
We're recording on the weekend to be released Wednesday, since you're obviously working throughout the week and I'm busy throughout the week. So this is our time, kind of during our off time, to be able to record for you guys.
Yep, while Danielle is napping.
Yep.
So a little life update.
Yeah.
So you're 17 weeks now?
Yep, 17 weeks today.
What's the size of, we're calling it little bub?
Yeah, which everyone's like, so it's a boy?
No,
we don't know.
we're not finding out. So yeah, the little bub does kind of sound more boyish.
Yeah. Texas is very like Bubba is boy or brother or something like that. But we don't know. We had a nickname for Danielle in the womb. We called her Poppy. Mm-hmm. Because she started as a poppy seed, the size of a poppy seed.
When we found out, she was the size of a poppy seed.
Right.
So, yeah.
So, but now, we couldn't really think. My family was like, Bart?
Yeah, I could think of a bunch of silly names, but I don't know. I'm still not even really sold on little bub, but that's just kind of what we've been calling it. So it is what it is.
And because we don't know if it's a boy or a girl, we also don't know what name to use. We kind of have a boy name and a girl name right now, still a little up in the air. But yeah,
we're always very much best of one name. We have a favorite name and we don't really.
Yeah.
Then that name can get replaced at any time. But we don't have we're thinking one of these three names. No, we just have one name that we like for a boy, one name for a girl, and then
if we like a different name, it could get cancel it out and replace it. But we don't really do top three for each.
But that being said, we're not really saying what the name is.
Yeah.
Keeping that a secret, but yeah.
We'll keep that to ourselves, again, I think just because we like the names and I don't want other reactions to dictate, how we feel about the names too.
Yeah, and the thought process behind, I think we said this before, possibly, about around not finding out was if this is our last one, we're kind of it'd be kind of more exciting to find out. I'm a planner. I don't know how much more planning I could do with the name, but I like to know. So I kind of want to find out, but you are very much nope, we're not finding out. And I'm it's fine. It'll be a surprise.
Yeah. Well, at the beginning, so I was on the fence of finding out last time. And I felt like I could go kind of either way, but you really wanted to find out. And I didn't want to fight that really. I'm like, okay, you want to find out. You're not going to find out without me knowing. So we're going to find out. And I feel like I hear that from a lot of friends of the guy wants to know more than the girl. The girl's like, I could leave it as a surprise. But yeah, this time someone asked you, like, are you going to find out? And you were like, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, wait, is this our window? And I'm like, would you be open to leaving it as a surprise?
See, I remember it very differently. And I normally, you're very strong-willed, like type A. So that's kind of where, if you really didn't want to find out last time, I feel like we wouldn't have. But like
Yeah,
you
that's what I'm
didn't, yeah,
saying.
you didn't resist it at all. And so I thought you wanted to find out. So like I don't remember you ever saying like, I don't really want to find out. So like you're telling me now it's like, oh, I didn't want to find out, but you did. And so we did. And I was like, I thought for sure both of us wanted to find out last time. You never said otherwise, so I didn't know. But yeah, so I'm finding this all out now from
I feel like I
different
did, but you
friends.
didn't really hear me.
I feel
But
like if you didn't want to
really,
find out,
you
we
were
would
like,
not have
I
found
want to
out.
find out as soon as possible. And so,
Yeah, I was excited.
yeah.
That I just said that, but you never went like, I don't really want to find out. Like you never said that once. So that's kind of where I was like, okay, I didn't know.
Yeah. Well, we found out last time by ourselves, and my compromise, my compromise was I've heard that you don't really want to have this like big gender thing leading up to the baby shower because then everyone just gets you specific things. And that was one of my reasons why I didn't really want to find out. So leading up to the baby shower, we didn't tell anyone what the gender was, except for the friend who made us the gender reveal cake that we did by ourselves. But besides that, no one knew. And so when we had the baby shower, we got very gender neutral stuff. We got the baby stuff that you need, especially as a first time parent, rather than all the clothes and the dresses and all of that. Like we didn't get any clothes really, maybe a few onesies as a newborn. But I really liked doing that and thankful now because we could be having a boy or a girl and we already have a lot of that stuff down.
This is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So has there been anything different about this pregnancy than the last one? For you at least? I mean, for me it's very much the same. I'm doing a lot
I
of the
think
same.
one of the biggest things is it's going so much faster last time.
Do you think that's because of
than
like
last time?
Danielle just
Yeah.
keeping you busy and on your toes, or is there another reason?
I'm a lot less focused on this pregnancy because I'm busier. I'm, chasing around a toddler. I have my functional medicine business. I have the podcast. I am working a little bit at the pharmacy as well. We were in Minnesota for a month. So it's all just kept me busy, where last time all I had was to focus on the pregnancy, which I was also working full time at the pharmacy. So like that was hard, just being on my feet all the time. And if you work in a pharmacy, if you're a pharmacist, pharmacy tech, especially more like retail side, you know that you don't sit in a pharmacy. The only time you really can sit is if you're pregnant. And so I did, bring a stool out and was sit here and there. But I describe it like, it's kind of like if you're cooking and you're like, I'll just sit down while I'm cooking. It's not very feasible. Like you're constantly moving to go get ingredients, you're pouring this, you're doing that, you're walking around the kitchen. And so, yeah, you can sit while you're stirring, but like that's really nice for 10 seconds and then you get up again. So that's very much like how it is in pharmacy. And so this week when I worked was the first time I pulled out the stool at like 4 p.m. I'm like, my feet hurt. I'm tired of standing and I don't want to get home and just have my feet up for 3 hours. So I pulled out the stool and people are like, you're gonna sit down? They're like, we're not judging. I'm like, it sounds like we're judging, but that's okay. It's how it is.
It's you are kind of cooking.
Yeah,
There's a bun in the oven.
exactly. So yeah, that's a little bit different. Like I am on my feet running around chasing a toddler, but also I can sit down more throughout the day and like rest during nap time. So I'm more like getting up and down throughout the day, versus just like standing in one-ish spot for a lot of the day.
Oh, I mean, and last time you were pregnant, you were working still full time, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So that's why I was like on my feet a lot more throughout, and then just kind of having the weekends to rest. Hey, really quick before we jump back in, I just want to share this in case it's meant for someone listening right now. If you're a mom who feels like you're just surviving the day, relying on caffeine just to function, or if you've been feeling off in your body, even months or a year postpartum, you are not alone. I also work with women who are trying to prepare their body for their first pregnancy or their next pregnancy and want to do it a natural, proactive way. Through my functional medicine practice, I offer a health analysis appointment where we really take the time to look at your symptoms, your health history, your lifestyle, and decide which labs would actually be helpful for you. That might include things like cortisol and hormone testing, gut health, metabolic health, and more. And all of these labs get shipped directly to your home, so it's very convenient. Once results come in, we walk through them together so you can fully understand what's going on in your body, and we build a personalized supplement and health plan with optional coaching support as well. The goal isn't quick fixes, it's optimizing your health naturally and giving your body what it needs to heal the way it was designed to. If this sounds like something you've been needing, you can find the link in the show notes to learn more or schedule a call. All right, let's jump back in. So that's, I would say, it's just going by so much faster. For first trimester this time, I had a lot less headaches. I did experience some dizziness around the 5, 6, 7 week mark, but I think that was attributed to not eating enough. I was still breastfeeding. I had to make sure I was drinking enough water and had those electrolytes and all of that. So the dizziness has gone away, thankfully. Fatigue is still here and there. First trimester was definitely worse with the fatigue. Second trimester, now that we're back in Texas, has gotten better. I've gotten to nest a little bit, but still hits me. I can feel when I'm doing too much, and then I feel like I'm just out for the count for a little bit.
Gotcha.
But that's just how pregnancy is. You're also, making a baby in the process of doing everything else in the day. So I have to remember that too.
Yeah. So what's been the hardest symptom of this pregnancy? The headaches or just fatigue overall?
Probably just more tiredness.
So you don't get really nauseous or anything like that?
No. And every now and then I would get unsettled my stomach. I would never, and maybe a little nauseous, but never where I thought I was going to throw up anywhere close to that. And that usually was because I haven't eaten in a while. So now I have some mini protein bars beside my bed, because if I go to bed too late, then I have to eat again. I can definitely feel that. So that's really the only time. Yeah, probably the fatigue, but some days can be really good. And honestly, it's just getting through the day, getting through the pregnancy. You're doing, they compare it to running marathons as well. That's how many calories you're burning. So it's just how it is. But yeah, headaches are a lot better. And I did start right away with chiropractic and craniosacral therapy versus last time I started that after midway in the pregnancy.
Yeah. You think your body kind of remembers just what it's going through, so it's a little easier on your body this time? Or is it the same? You're just kind of you just know what that symptom is when you get it?
I don't know. I don't know if it's easier. I don't know if it's really easier on the body. I think the body might recognize it a little bit more. And it's me remembering oh, I don't think pregnancy was that hard. And then you're living through it and you're oh yeah, this is kind of hard. But thankfully I don't have a ton of symptoms that put me in a hospital or put me out for the count, because I've definitely had friends that are I was throwing up for 5 months straight. So very thankful that I haven't had any of that. And, being able to prepare as much as possible for pregnancy prior for both of us may have helped in that sense as well. Just being able to provide those nutrients to hopefully suspend a lot of those symptoms too.
Yeah, no, for sure. Have you had any like special like food cravings and stuff? I'm gone during the week, so I don't know if you're digging into anything in particular. It's different than last time.
I think it's like, I feel like every pregnant person is like, do you know what sounds great? Pickles. But that could be for the electrolytes and stuff
I have
like
seen you
that.
eating some pickles.
Yeah, that every now and then hits kind of strong. But it's just kind of a little bit of everything. Like sometimes I want something crunchy and I want cereal. Like that's a very big pregnancy craving. Sometimes I want something like sour, which I think a pickle can help. But sometimes it's like the Sour Patch Kid candy, like you want that. These aren't the healthy things, right? But other times it's like fruit. I also have the savory stuff, but like first trimester, I couldn't eat a lot of like what I cooked, so that was hard. But then when we went to Minnesota, it was a lot better of like we would split cooking with like my mom and my family, so I didn't have to cook a lot of the meals, which was really nice. And then I felt like I could eat more of it too.
Yeah, I heard that's like a common thing where like you don't like the things that you cook yourself.
Yeah.
When you're pregnant, it's kind of weird, but I have seen that. And there's also been, I think, I don't know if it's more than the last time you were pregnant, but like you'll eat something, but then you'll be like, yeah, I'm not going to eat any more of this. Like you kind of like, no, I'm done.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Unfortunately, but we're getting through it.
Mm-hmm. So now we're preparing for 2 kids. Mm-hmm. That's going to be different. We're kind of figuring out the room and board situation. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, should we go through some of that?
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
So
we can do whatever we want. It's our podcast.
Right. So right now, my mother-in-law lives with us. It's your mom.
Correct.
She's been living with us for almost 2 years, like a year and a half probably at this point. Well, yeah, because it was when Danielle was born, and she's a year and a half. Oh. And so we were like, yeah, maybe like 1 to 2 years was our thought process of having her live here for a bit. And she's been a great help with helping with Danielle and all of that, especially with my business and the podcast. Like we didn't really know any of that was necessarily going to happen, but it worked out really well. So now she is going to have her own apartment back in Dallas, and we are having Danielle move into her room. And so new baby will be in the nursery. Mm-hmm. So trying to figure that out. Your mom is like moving around October-ish or somewhere in October. And so figuring out when to transition Danielle into the new room so it's not like new baby is taking my room. And she's going to be about 2 when baby's born. Like the due date is less than a week from her birthday. So we don't know how that's going to go. But we want to transition her, and we have time because the baby will be in our room for a while. And I don't know how long that will look like for us, because it is nice getting your own room back and all of that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so we don't necessarily need it like immediately, but we're thinking we'll keep her in her crib when we transfer her to the new room, and then eventually transition her to a twin bed, like a mattress on the floor to start with. But I've also heard not to do that too early because it can make it really hard on them. And some people wait closer till they're 2.5 or 3 before they transition them out. So sometimes they say it's easier just to get another crib. So I don't really know. So if the listeners have any suggestions, please let us know what's easier for transitioning a baby to a big girl bed or toddler, I guess. And a lot of cribs turn into toddler beds by taking off that front piece. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so we could try that first as a transition.
I think that's almost
Like too
just,
many transitions.
yeah, it's a lot of transit. Like it almost makes it more difficult. You almost rather just rip the Band-Aid off and like
Yeah.
put them on the floor and just let them figure it out. I don't know. When it becomes so many steps, I'm like, that might be even more confusing and just like really making something simple harder. I don't know.
Right. And then figuring out when to transition her, like, is it before baby comes and then we're not sleeping because Danielle might have trouble adjusting, or after baby comes and, well, we're already not sleeping because we have a newborn? Like, what's better? I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe more figuring it out like the last time.
Yeah.
But it was nice having my mom here last time because like she was able to help us like pivot and kind of lend a helping hand there, and she'll still be coming out and helping out and stuff. She'll still be watching Danielle like one day a week, and
Yeah.
but yeah, it'll be just a new challenge.
Yeah.
We'll have to figure it out as we go. Yep.
We'll figure it out. And then, did we want to talk about our Minnesota trip or go right into other stuff?
We can go to Minnesota trip. We've spent a lot of time so far on everything else, so it ended up being a longer episode than
What
planned.
else do we have left?
Minnesota trip, what's new in the business, fall plans, still quite a bit.
Okay.
Do you want to go on a Minnesota trip then?
Yeah.
Okay, so like why did we go to Minnesota and all that?
And how it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went to Minnesota. Well, my work, you can work remote for a month from anywhere.
So we're taking advantage of that benefit.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to Minnesota for a month. We drove there. So we talked about our driving experience. I mean, a little bit. We talked about our plan.
You mean the last podcast?
Yeah. And then
we brought the dogs.
We brought the 2 dogs and Danielle and us in the pickup. And if you're following my Instagram story, I recorded a lot, especially on the way there. And on the way back, I was real tired, so I recorded a lot less of it. But yeah, I was sharing progress on that on my stories and how that was going. But I would say overall it went really well.
Yeah, I thought it went as well as it could have gone when you have 2 dogs and a baby in the back and you're driving 14 hours. So
yeah,
it was hot, and so when the sun like kind of baked on the windows. But I mean, my truck is like slightly tinted, so it's helped a little bit. But it was still like hot depending on what side of the car you were on at different times of the day. But
yeah, I was hot.
But yeah, it was. I thought it went well. The dogs were actually pretty mellow and just chilled for the most part. And I mean, I think the timing of when we left usually midday around like after lunch when Danielle would go out for a nap, and so she napped for a couple hours at the beginning of the drive. We were able to get out, stretch our legs, let the dogs out after she woke up. Drove a little bit further, got out for supper, and then like after eating and stuff, got back in the car and drove as far as we could when Danielle went down like to sleep for the night. And so yeah, so we did it the same each time, kind of same plan like you talked about, where we'd go after lunch and then we made it into a 2-day trip instead of trying to do it like all in one trek. And then the first time we tried to see like, okay, let's put her in her pajamas at like 8 or so, and then let's see if she can just sleep in the car and see how far we can get. And she did not want to go to sleep. And it was also like very sunny, so that was hard. But yeah, she wasn't going to sleep. She was fussing and kind of crying on and off. And so we were in Kansas City, and I'm like, okay, let me just look for a hotel. And as I was looking for a hotel, she actually started falling asleep, and she fell asleep. I'm like, okay, what do you want to do? And you're like, let's keep driving. I'm like, okay, our next city is 3 hours away. What do you feel about that? He's like, let's do it. So we go towards Des Moines, and then like an hour in, she wakes up and starts crying again. And then that felt like it was an hour and a half again of like on and off crying. It's like my personal hell when you just cannot do anything and you just have a baby crying behind you, and you're like, we're still an hour and a half away from a hotel, and we already even booked it at that point. Like we found it had to be dog friendly, all these things. So it's like, nope, we have to get there. And so it's like you can stop and like take her out, but then you're just prolonging like getting to the hotel and actually getting to put her down to sleep. And so we just kept driving.
Yeah.
Eventually she did fall asleep again, but she cried for about an hour, and that was painful.
Yeah, it was hard. And We got there. I did order like a crib or request a crib to the room, but they didn't bring sheets. It was all like it wasn't put together.
Yeah.
It was like 1:30 in the morning. I didn't want to figure out how to put this crib together and request sheets that may or may not be very clean.
It didn't even look like it would have been that comfortable of a crib either. Like,
and I requested a king bed in case she were to sleep with us. And so I'm like, let's just lay down, let's go to sleep. And we maybe got like 3 hours of sleep because she didn't understand. She's like, what are we doing? Are we playing? Like, why are we just laying down with us three? Where's my bed?
Even when she did finally fall asleep, she was a very active sleeper, and like the times when she fell asleep, she ended up falling asleep like in my armpit or like kind of, and I was in like a weird position, and I felt like I couldn't move or else she'd wake up.
And her feet were by me, so
like,
she would kick me.
But I couldn't fall asleep in the position I was in, so I got like hardly any sleep at all. And it was just, no one got much sleep that
And then
night.
on the way back, they had a pull-out couch in the room, so you slept on the pull-out couch, and then I just slept with her.
Give her more space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she wanted to sleep on me, like you said too, but I'm like a little bit more pregnant, so I was like, I need a pee throughout the night, and then that would wake her up because I would have to move. But we survived, and if we go to Minnesota next year, we'll have 2 kids to bring with us.
Yeah, I don't know if the dogs will fit with 2 kids, and we'd have to figure all that all out.
Yeah,
but
I may be flying with 2 kids while you drive with 2 dogs.
Oh,
we'll
boy.
see.
Hey friend, real quick before we get back to today's episode, if you're hoping to conceive within the next year, currently trying to get pregnant, or wondering if there's more you can be doing to support your fertility, I created something specifically for you. My new Preparing for Pregnancy Guide is a comprehensive resource that walks through the foundations of fertility and preconception health from a functional medicine perspective. We cover nutrition, blood sugar balance, sleep, stress and nervous system support, gut health, supplements, ovulation tracking, male fertility, fertility testing, and even considerations for IUI and IVF. I created this guide because so many couples are told to just keep trying and wait when there are often practical steps you can take right now to support your health and fertility. Whether you've been trying for a few months, are planning ahead, or simply want to feel more prepared before pregnancy, this guide will help you create a clear plan and understand where to focus your efforts. You can find it at molinemethod.com/fertility. And because you're a listener of the podcast, you can use the code podcast25 to save $25 at checkout. All right, let's get back to today's episode.
But how do you like Minnesota besides our travel experiences?
It was great. I mean, Minnesota summer is like, you really can't beat them at like the prime time of Minnesota. Like in July, I mean, it does get hot. People would ask down here, like, oh, are you escaping the heat but going to Minnesota? And I'm like, not really. It gets over 100 there, but there's more of a climb in a fall. Like it kind of cools off in the afternoons versus in Texas, it doesn't really get below 80. So
in the mornings it can start around 60 or 70. Where here it starts at like 85.
Yeah. So I made the most of like that. We did some fishing, some golfing. And it's, I mean, we could sit in the patios in the afternoon and not be sweating. So it was a good time. I had fun, and I mean, I was still working all month, so it was like I was working in the basement and just kind of doing my thing. But it was nice not having to like drive all the way to work, and got to basically spend more time with Danielle and the rest of the family, just because I didn't have to spend those hours on the road driving into work and back. So that was kind of nice. But I thought it was nice, and got to see some family and got to enjoy the best of a Minnesota summer. So
because you have a lot of family in Minnesota still too.
Mm-hmm.
Dad and some brothers, so we made it a point to see everyone that we could. I saw some friends. Obviously we stayed with my parents, and then my sister's like 20 minutes from there as well. So that was really nice to have more quality time, and then them have more quality time with Danielle as well.
Yeah, and we drove to Fargo for a weekend, and then we drove down to Hastings for a weekend. So we got to kind of see a lot of different people and do a lot of different things. So yeah, it was a good time. I don't know how much detail we want to go into, but But yeah, it was good.
It was fun. I would do it again. And then just with like being in my first trimester, it was awesome. Just having more help, especially my mom was so much help because she's retired so that she can just say, hey, go take a nap. I got this. I'll watch Danielle. So that was so nice. And then again, with the cooking, the cleaning, all of that. So I know that's obviously not an option for everyone, and it's not an option for every pregnancy, but last pregnancy versus this pregnancy, that was really helpful. And then I too was still doing a lot of my functional medicine stuff. Obviously, I wasn't working part-time at the pharmacy when I was there, but you would pop in, you're like, wow, you're really working a lot. I'm like, yeah, this is how it goes. It just virtually, just in a different spot, which is great to have the opportunity to still do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're taking advantage of like having your mom be able to like watch Danielle and stuff like that, and then yeah, but you're able to take some more naps then too, and like come out and you'd be like napping on the couch, and yeah, so it's good. It was good timing for when like for how pregnant you were and all that and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, took full advantage.
Do we want to talk about Danielle being 18 months?
Sure.
Well, we have an 18-month-old now. She's almost 19 months old. I don't even know what date it is. But yeah, that's really fun. Definitely more independent, like getting more independent each time. I talked about a little on my Instagram how I nursed until 18 months. So now I've stopped nursing, stopped breastfeeding, just because it felt like a lot happening at once. And I wanted some space between having her nurse and new baby nursing when he or she comes in January. So I didn't want her necessarily like remembering and being jealous and all of that too. So I wanted some space, and I'm like, it was bittersweet, but also like I know I'm going to be breastfeeding again so soon that it didn't feel as sad. And part of it was I didn't want to give it up because I felt like that was a lot of our bond and relationship was me nursing Danielle. But look at us. I stopped nursing and she still loves me just as much.
Yeah, I think it just kind of developed into a different type of like she still wants you for comfort and things like that, just in different ways. So yeah, but then you were also getting like a little, it was harder to like be breastfeeding and also like because you were having to eat more for it, and that's kind of, we thought, okay, you're probably getting nauseous because you're breastfeeding and still and trying to grow a new baby too. So, and I don't think you've really dealt with much like nausea since you stopped breastfeeding. Because obviously you have to be like eating more and stuff when you're doing that. So
Yeah.
it's been good. I hear our neighbors are using like drills and saws and stuff like that. So
Okay,
it
I
sounds
was
like a baby
like-
crying, but it's actually like it's
Like, is that in my head or is she
No.
up? Yeah.
no.
So, yeah, she's talking a little bit more.
Saying different words and kind of stringing them together a little bit. She just learned how to say Tito.
Yeah, which is one of our dog's names. So she just goes around going, Tito, Tito, Tito.
Yeah. She gets really proud of the words that she's able to say, and she'll just repeat them. And
Yeah.
repeat.
And so then our dog, Tito's like, keeps coming up and he's like, what?
Yeah, she has not put together that like she's calling him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's fun. Yeah. Oh, and kind of moving into our upcoming plans. Danielle is starting school in a few weeks, preschool. It's a child's day out program or like a mother's day out program at our church, but they're calling it school, so I'm calling it school. It's 2 days a week, part-time, so like half days basically. But I'm super excited. She's gonna be with kids her own age. She's gonna have teachers. She's gonna be able to play and talk and do all the things. And we love our church, so I love that they have this opportunity for her. And then it also gives me the opportunity to have some more time for my functional medicine clients, for podcasts, for my own pregnancy appointments. Maybe we'll rest sometime in there, but we'll see.
Yeah. No.
Already scheduling things out when she's at school, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think you'll definitely, you probably use that time for more your business and stuff, but hopefully you'll take some naps in there too and kind of rest while you're pregnant. But I mean, yeah, that'll be good. I think that program at our church is really great. I've heard some awesome things about it, so it'll be good for her for even just like mental development stuff, to be around other kids and be like engaged in learning and more like active in learning and focused on that, I guess. So
Yeah.
hopefully she takes to that. But
I already got an email that she is moving up to the twos class.
oh my goodness, she's
frogs.
already being promoted.
I know.
She hasn't even started yet.
And they kind of
So
warned
proud.
when we toured that might happen because she's going to be in between 1 and 2. She's going to come in at 19 months. But I'm just like, my little baby in the twos. So they're like, she needs a nap mat and all these things. And I'm like, okay, well, you're the one who has to try to get her to nap on a mat, not me. So, I mean, if all else fails, then I guess she'll nap when she gets home because it only goes until 2. And so it'll be fine, but we'll try it. And maybe that'll help the transition for her to go into a big girl bed eventually as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, you'll have some more time for your business, which is a good segue into like what's new with your business? What have you been working on? I know you just made the pregnancy guide. We kind of announced that, talked about that a little bit in previous episodes. So what else?
I don't have a lot of stuff, I think, to report.
You just spoke at a fertility seminar.
You're right. I just spoke at a fertility seminar, so that went really well. That was last weekend, and I already like past it. But it's the Fertility Foundation seminar, so I got to talk about functional medicine and how functional medicine can help fertility and how like my viewpoint on that. So that was really exciting and sharing a little bit of aspects of my guide. But there are so many different kinds of speakers there, from dietitians to OB to therapists, chiropractor, even an MD talking about the spiritual side as well. So it was all really cool. And the host, Holly, she shared her story of infertility that ultimately led her to adoption, but her just sharing her story, and so touching, so moving. And she wished she had more information when they were trying to conceive, to be able to do stuff at that time. So that's why she's promoting it and trying to get it out there. So it is all recorded. If you want to have access to that, I can connect you so that you could purchase that. But that was really cool to be a part of. And then I'll be recording a lot, especially with our pregnancy stuff and pregnancy content for the podcast. We'll record about birth stuff and then postpartum stuff, and so I'll be able to like pre-record a lot of that, so it'll be ready when we are taking a break, and then I can also listen to it postpartum just in case I forget, and every postpartum experience I've heard is completely different. So yeah, I'll be busy doing a lot of that. And then I have a couple new clients as well, so I'll also be prioritizing them throughout this journey, and then throughout when we have a new baby as well. We may take a step back, and that's why I'll have a lot of recordings set up for the podcast, and then we'll see, looking back, like how much we can handle once we have the new baby, and you'll be on paternity leave, thank goodness. So that'll look different as well.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, my clients, I've already let some of them know kind of what to expect, and that they're still taking priority, so that I'm not leaving them in the dust with all of this going on too.
That's good. It's kind of cool you're able to still work in the functional medicine world and kind of have a focus on fertility while you're going through pregnancy. It's kind of it's prime time for that, because it's like more personal to you, and you're kind of like walking through that while you're also trying to get other people to join that walk, with like the fertility stuff. So
Yeah,
and you're
I'm
passionate about it. So.
even considering having like a brick and mortar place part-time as well, like having a room in the birth center that we go to, because it's called All About Babies and they have other services in there from nurse practitioner, family practice, chiropractic, massage, all of that. So they already have so many services around the pediatric and the prenatal world. So having functional medicine in there, especially focusing on fertility, they're really interested in. And so we'll get through the first postpartum part and all of that. So it might be down the road, but I think some people really like meeting in person. So to have an option for that, person or virtually, may be helpful for some people too.
Gotcha.
And then just for referrals and stuff for other providers in the area or the midwives, especially with a lot of secondary infertility, and then people, women who want to have a better pregnancy this next time if they didn't get the birth they wanted. Most people going into a birth center want more of a natural type birth. And to be able to be in a birth center or home birth, you have to have a lower risk pregnancy. And so I want to help set them up for success to the best of my ability too.
That makes sense.
So next episode, I want to talk about going back to school. And we're not even going back to school. We're going to be going to school for the first time, even though she's one. But we're going.
You grew up so fast.
I know. We'll talk about immune support with going back to school. So I feel like that's really relevant in this August-September timeframe. So we'll talk about how to support that in a more functional medicine and holistic type of way, besides just take your vitamin C and move on.
Yes.
So we'll talk about that and keep it going.
Yeah, I feel like that's now the time of year when kids go back to school. That's when everyone gets sick, because the kids get
100%.
sick, and then they come back from school and they bring it back, and then the parents get sick. Then all the parents with kids, they're like, "Oh, got to be out."
Yeah.
And then, so you notice it from a work perspective, from like a corporate office, because like all the parents with kids will also get sick at the same time, and you're like, "Oh."
I notice it from a pharmacy's perspective as well, because everyone's
yeah.
coming to the pharmacy sick.
I'm sure, exactly. Yeah, so very relevant discussion.
Yeah. Do you have a dad joke to end with?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's see if I can do it off the top of my head.
Okay.
Why do cows wear bells?
Why?
Because their horns don't work.
I had to think about it, but thank you. Like a longhorn.
I think that's how it goes. It's been a while since I told that one, so I don't know.
Yeah. I haven't heard it. So
Yeah, beep beep.
beep, beep. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already, please subscribe so you don't miss any episodes, or follow. I think a lot of the podcast platforms are turning more into, the button is called follow. So yeah, you can watch on YouTube
Woohoo.
with this new video setup, or you can listen on any podcast network and comment. You can comment on like Spotify podcasts or on YouTube, especially on the whole bed situation. If
Yeah.
you have tips,
We'd love advice on that.
let us know. We're
Or-
going to be walking in the dark.
Or you can send in other podcast subject
Yeah.
ideas.
Let us know what you want. I pretty much have the next 6 months of podcast information set up of what I have like wanting to talk about. So
We can always call audibles though if
Oh,
there's
for
a
sure.
relevant
I've
question.
left some space.
Oh yeah.
I've left some space just for those times, and I'm adding more guests and all of that too, which is really fun.
All right. Well, thanks for listening.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to my podcast, Functional Medicine for Moms. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe so you never miss one, leave a quick 5-star review, and share it with your mom friends who love it too. I'm Kelly with a background as a pharmacist and training in functional medicine. I help women move past fatigue,
brain fog, gut issues, and hormone struggles so they can thrive in everyday life or prepare for a healthy pregnancy. Through lab testing, personalized supplements, and functional medicine coaching, I help you feel better, faster, naturally. Want to connect more? Head over to molinemethod.com or come hang out with me on Instagram and YouTube at Functional Medicine for Moms. On my site, you can order professional grade supplements at my discount or book a free discovery call if you'd like to see how we can work together on your health. This podcast is for educational purposes only and not medical advice. Always talk to your provider before making changes to your health plan. And remember, healthy moms raise healthy families. Catch you next time. New episodes released every Wednesday.